Well, now, evening, people. I'm going to try to do this one without a whole bunch of silence. Hopefully, I got my shit together. Yes, it is. It's hard being this purdy. So, hope you guys' week was good. Mine was fantastic. Hey. Got me God's own A&W root beer here. All right, so last week I kind of stumbled over myself. I was very distracted by the my little terrorist. I changed the time up. He's sleeping. I know, Concrete. I decided to leave that one up just to remind myself how fucking bad I can be. Anyway, I changed the time of the show so that the terrorist would be sleeping, wouldn't be running around distracting me. Hopefully, I can hold a train of thought today. Yes, A&W is better than Shasta. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to keep my train of thought today. I don't know if we're going to make it the whole hour today, but we're going to try. So, David talked to me a while back about doing a little interaction. I thought I'd jump in and just do it without telling him. Yesterday's noted show for you people who yesterday's noted show for you people who watch Noted. You caught the talk about butter, and for you people that don't watch Noted, well, shame on you. You should. Anyway, so one of the, they were struggling to find different ways to use butter aside from, bakeries and some niche cream uses where you want to butter it up or make a custard more rich. Well, one of the ways is to make your tobacco mixes more rich. I actually haven't used it in a long time. So I mixed up some tobacco Batman and tobacco Robin, FLV Red Burley and FLV Cured, because I know exactly how those go together, and did 0.3 of TFA butter in there, and it does work. I'm going to let it steep and figure it out. So a little science for you guys. Diacetyl is mostly produced through fermentation, even in the industrial making of it. And most tobaccos are fermented, and thus the diacetyl forms. I don't know that it's necessarily added to tobaccos, but it is part of the fermentation process, and it does form naturally. Forms in some fruits and melons as they ripen. Anyway, I'm going to play with that. Going to release a recipe with it because I like the effects it had of it. I did it low enough not to get the butter, but to get the richness. I'm going to see how that works out on the steep. I do have a recipe to release today, maybe if my edits were right, and it was actually a request on a one of Wayne's shows. And Wayne didn't respond to the poor guy, so decided I would. It's an Apple RY4, all from scratch. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. The main thing that I wanted to talk about today is using your, this is not new. Everybody's always used different brands of stuff. But yes, I'm going to butter your Bacco. I've been lately trying to fight the boomerang effect of FLV and see if no, JJ, I'm not releasing strawberry and cream tobacco today. I got sidetracked on Apple RY4, so yeah, yay me for shortest attention spans. Anyway, I've been trying to find a way to fight the boomerang effect of Flavora tobaccos. And I had started a while back messing around with mixing them with Inawera and Hangson. And I like the effects because you don't get as much of the boomerang, and so in like cured, you don't get the second week fade out, which is a good thing. So I was using black for pipe and cured to test this, and dark for pipe cured to test this. Super concentrates Cohiba and cigar from Bull City Flavors to test this, and they work out really well. You don't get as much of the boomerang, and it actually does better than other Flavora tobaccos to keep cured hanging on. I'm I'm liking the effects of that. Yeah, I know. I'm going to release that strawberry and cream tobacco, but I just haven't actually, I didn't reiterate on it. So, yeah. I do have a mix it, fix it, or nix it for today. This is going to be terrible if I can't find it. I love apple tobaccos. So, like I was talking about the FLV cured, the way that most of the Flavora tobaccos, God, I'm going to get that right one of these days. All of the Flavora tobaccos have this boomerang thing where they kind of lose potency and then they come back with a little bit more complexity sometimes. And FLV cured is the standout on that for me, in that it does go away and it doesn't always come back, even when mixing with other Flavora tobaccos. I really like the generic take it anywhere kind of tobacco note that it has, because it doesn't in and of itself, hey Mike, how you doing, in and of itself it doesn't lend to a particular type of tobacco, but you can lead it wherever you want it. And just trying to figure out ways to keep it around. So I'm actually not having any luck keeping my, I think this voice just sets him off. Anyway, yeah, I think you were telling me that, Raw Tune, that you were missing something for Prapple Bacco. Yep, yep, JJ, exactly. The adding other tobaccos does help Flavora tobaccos stick around. So, moving on from that, I started working on this, I think, a week and a half ago. I'm using FLV Cured and Inawera Vanilla for pipe. Two of those that I was playing around with, trying to get them to stick around. And somebody in one of Wayne's chats had requested a awesome, John. Awesome. I thanks for helping me keep my train of thought there, bud. The the Apple to RY4, and I can't do an RY4 that probably most of your dessert vapors are going to be drawn to, because I need more tobacco with them. But started off with FLV cured tobacco at 2%, and Inawera vanilla cream at Inawera vanilla for pipe at 1.3, Inawera vanilla cream at 1, Flavor Art caramel at 1, and Capella caramel at 1.5, and Purilium country apple. Let me see if I can make this public. So why would you do an RY4 without an RY4? Because why not? I'm not a huge fan of TFA RY4 double. I know a lot of people really, really love that. It's got this dry, scratchy throat thing for me, and not really my thing. See if I can save this so I can share it. Boom. That country apple is delicious. It's a really good cooked apple, which is kind of, you would think you would want a fresher apple for this with caramel, but I kind of like the effects this has. Boom. And there we go. All right. Yeah, it's a great cooked apple, man. Great cooked apple. So this is like, I really like this one. I think the current mix that I have is on day like 4 or 5, and I don't really know that it's going to change a whole lot more after this. I guess we'll see. That's why I kind of left the tick that the creator doesn't think it's finished yet. Well, and there's no description, but anyway, I've been digging this, and this actually started with an addition of various flavors to one of my testers of mixing FLV cured with different Inawera tobaccos. And not very scientific, but I like to play around with my testers, throwing different stuff in them, see where it takes them. When you get new flavors, you mix up a single flavor test. Mixing it with other testers is a really good way. I mean, not all strawberries mix with creams the way you think it would. Flavora Alpine strawberry is one that doesn't. So it's always good to test your flavors by using different concentrates. You know how they mix with stuff. So anyway, got started down this path on this. I've been really digging it. What's up, Jaybird? need to get this other one prepped. So my Mix It or Fix It, I don't really know who Highwind is, and if I've spoken to you in the past, Highwind, I apologize. I don't know who you are. But if you want me to try something, put tobacco in it, and name it having something to do with Tolkien's worlds, and I'll probably try it. So this is Autumn in the Shire by Highwind. And up front, before I ever mixed this is the one I was waiting for it to steep last week because I just mixed it a couple days before. Up front, this is going to be, I know this is going to be a fix it for me just without ever trying it, and I haven't yet. It's actually steeped a day or two too long now. But it probably doesn't have enough tobacco for me, which is fine. Not everybody likes it like I do. But I'm hoping that it's going to be really good. I had another one for Mix It or Fix It this week from Chemical Burn Victim. But I felt like that would be cheating because everything I've ever mixed from him's been really good. Because, well, he does tobaccos and I like tobaccos and he's pretty good at tobaccos. And so, kind of wanted to do something that I didn't know the person or had never tried their mixes before. And trying this dual coil on a really old atomizer, M-Addy. Which is not normally my choice these days, but I do love the M-Addy. But it seemed like a really good fall kind of tobacco vape. Surprisingly, I do get a taste of tobacco with this. I'm not the biggest fan on Soho. I find it to be really weak, and for RY4s, there's other choices. People who don't like tobaccos like Soho because it has zero tobacco in it. To me, I'm a huge fan of Cinnamon Danish Swirl. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm a huge fan of Butterscotch Ripple. Pretty much everything in here, aside from Soho, I'm a big fan of. I think this one's going to be a mix it. For me, I would bump the tobacco up. The Inawera Classic for Pipe Black, I would bump that up for me. Yeah, I would bump the black for pipe up, Jeffrey. Mike, I do find tobaccos vary on the inhale and exhale, and to me, I enjoy all vaping at lower watts than most people do and less airflow than most people do. But usually mouth to lung setups, which I think that's actually how you vape anyway. And you don't see me doing it on live shows, but I really enjoy tobaccos in Genesis atomizers because I like the way tobaccos perform on mesh. Mesh is still to this day my favorite wicking medium. All right, this is definitely a mix it. For me, it would be a slight fix it. I would add more tobacco. I really think this could have been done simpler as well. Maybe bump the vanilla custard up a little bit, or bump the vanilla bean ice cream up a little bit. I really don't think that it needs both of those. That low cap vanilla custard is adding richness and body, and TFA vanilla bean ice cream can do that just as well. Maybe not as thick, but you've got butterscotch ripple in there at 3%. So I think it could have been done a little bit simpler by dropping one of either TFA vanilla bean ice cream or Capella vanilla custard. I also probably would have used Jungle Flavors RY4 Double over Soho just because it has a slight tobacco note and it doesn't have that dirty ashtray tobacco note that TFA RY4 Double has. It also doesn't have that dry, scratchy throat thing for me that TFA RY4 Double has. Yep, raw tune, exactly. Mike, did you on your single flavor test of Cure? Did you? How long did you let it steep? A lot of the Flovora tobaccos have an inherent sweetness to them. Narda is a good flavor atomizer. So yeah, guys, Autumn in the Shire by High Wind. I'm gonna have to remember to review this. Definitely a mix it. Steeped about a half hour. Yeah. All right. Well, try it again in like 4 or 5 days, and it's going to be a lot weaker. And then maybe in 2 weeks, it's going to come back some. I've never tried the eye care too, Jeffrey. I hear the eye cares are okay, but not very durable. You know what, Jeffrey? I have too. I watched their romantical debut of it, if you will, on P. Basardo's channel. I don't know. I've been watching those guys for years. Like, I don't know when he was doing 2 hour cartomizer reviews, but I find him to be interesting because he has stuck with his stuff. His format for every one of his shows, a veteran or a newbie can get something out of it. I mean, he does his stuff to benefit everybody, and I can appreciate that. He also vapes for the most part about the way I do, so I'm really interested in that tank. I just haven't ordered it yet. I put myself on I ordered 2 China Squonkers, and I've put myself on a vaping hardware ban till after Christmas. Plus, I've been spending too much money on RC cars and trucks lately to feel right about spending money on vape gear. Yeah, I debated getting an eye care, Jeffrey, but I just don't know that I would actually use it. I use squonkers everywhere, man, and they're just perfect for me. Yeah, cool, cool. So, getting back on this butter tobacco thing, let's do a little test. Squonk Life coming soon. Yeah, JJ, Squonk Life has been around for a long time for me. Let's do Captain Jack for pipe. And we would do Flavora Cured again. Let me get my tester mix up. I've got to order a new scale too, man. I can't seem to stop ruining these. I can't seem to stop ruining these scales. I get liquid on the top and put the lid back on, and condensation of the liquid goes down into the display and kills my numbers. All right, so let's go with 1.4 Captain Jack for pipe. Let's go with 2% cured. Let's go with 0.3% TPA butter. 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 6 times 18650 squonk box to run a 3 ohm 32 gauge 1 millimeter Canthal build. That sounds reasonable, Mr. Concrete River. Butter. All right. Let's 626 650s, JJ. Let's do something pocketable because squonks. $150 per watt, totally worth it, right? Well, this is only $25 per watt. Well, at the current wattage I'm running at it. really need to get this microphone set up for mixing on camera if I'm going to do this crap. Because, you know, let's make it hard. Why not? Do any of y'all ever feel like you have way too many way too many flavorings out on your desk? Like you just grab something and set it down and you can't find out what you did with it? Yeah, me either. But man, I need to. You know what? I just reshelved Sunday, and I probably have 100 out again so far. Easy. But yeah, but JJ, you have what, like 40 flavors? I mean, I know you had hundreds and you gave a bunch away because you were like trimming down to just a few recipes you vaped and made for people. I'm way too much of a hoarder to do that. Yeah, me either. I mean, I have mine in order of flavor types. Fruits are in those 3 boxes. Creams are in those 4 boxes. Caramels, vanillas, and nuts are in those 2 boxes. Tobaccos are in that box, and that box. Um, Additives are in that box, and miscellaneous shit I hadn't put up yet are in those boxes. And Flavora's in those 3 boxes. So yeah. Oh, and the shit I hadn't put into my flavor spreadsheet yet is on this table, that table, and that box. And no, I don't have sexy liquid barn bottles for stuff. I just rebottle in other bottles for PG and VG. So, any of y'all playing video games, man? Ark Survival Evolved just released a DLC. Actually, they've had it up for a little while, but it just hit today, supposedly. A whole new map with a bunch of different animals, and a bunch of new game mechanics and environments. And I'm about to install another world on my server and get lost again for a while. So, rip Fear's tobacco show that he can't stay focused on anyway. So this is, you guys know this is not going to be accurate as hell because I don't know if y'all are like me, but I find I got to let TPA butter steep for a little while. But can kind of get an idea where it's going. Get Tony Hawk. I had all the Tony Hawks. Dent. or Crazy Taxi. Man, I have a whole box of PS1 games. I do still have a PS1 Slim and the original PS1. I really liked the old Medal of Honors. And they're cheap now, the PS1s. I'm too much of a graphics snob, though. All right. Yep, it upped the richness. I did TFA butter at 0.3. Cured tends to take the for pipes a little bit away from pipe. And the butter, interestingly enough, steered it back. Man, I like that. I'm going to sit this with the other butter steeper. If I ever find that again. I need to put more stuff on my floor. That way things won't roll under cabinets and drawers and shit. All right. Well, man, I gave up on trying to keep everything organized in one box shortly after I started mixing, man. Just get a bunch of boxes. Or get nail polish racks or something. Or just, just throw them in cardboard boxes and clear bins and whatever you have. Kind of like me. Man, for a cheap run-of-the-mill root beer, sure do like A&W. Yes, racks on racks on racks. I wished I had room for it. I had room for it, but then we adopted a terrorist, and, well, we don't have room for anything anymore because we have no self-control, and he has more toys than I have flavorings, which is not really fair. One of these days, I'll have to move the camera around this way. Do one of those seated with a pipe shows. And y'all get to see my disarray. It looks like a tornado hit a mix over the counter vape shop here, literally. All right. Well, I have run out of stuff to ramble about. I hope this week was better than last week. We didn't have like a ton of awkward pauses, just a few here and there. Didn't start off with the 7 minutes of silence that Concrete River and Skittles can try to outdo each other to meme the hell out of me. Hey, Mark Swarsa? Marco Swarsa? Am I pronouncing that right? I'm butchering your name from Finland. I know I am. Hope you're enjoying the abuela, man. Unless y'all want to just sit here and BS for the next 15 minutes or so. I'm going to keep it on, but I am going to chase down some dinosaurs. If any of y'all have it and have the expansion and want to play, I have some public PvE servers up. Yeah, I know PvE, but I have a life, man. I can't play PvP in that game. You got to farm too hard, man. And there's people that will sit there for 24 hours a day and poop socket just to kick your door down. I ain't got that kind of time, but I like to have fun with video games still. Anyway, if any of y'all have it and want to play, hit me up on the Discord. I'll give you the IPs for the servers. You're welcome, man. Anyway, I'm going to cut it here. Well, I've been playing video games forever, Jeffrey. Like, seriously, no-lifing video games from time to time since the days of Wolfenstein 3D. And then when Doom came out, it was pretty much all over. And when Quake came out, it was over. All right, man. You guys have fun till next week. Hopefully next week it'll stay a little more focused with even less awkward pauses. And thanks for watching.